All right, weekend sports betting tips on the Barroom Network. My name's Tooch. Got Anthony here with me. Sean is at his son's homecoming football game tonight. He'll be back with us next week. We got some college football tonight, tomorrow, and NFL Sunday, Monday. We had one game already. Interesting game too. We'll talk about that. We got MLB wild cards to talk about. Why don't we start with a little MLB, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yep. Who's in and who's out?
I gotta say, this segment is not fun without Sean here.
Yeah, I know. We'll save it to next week. Give us a quick little who's in. I mean, what's the excitement?
So in the NL, it comes down to really the Padres, the Diamondbacks, the Mets, and the Braves, and mostly just the Mets and the Braves. But the Mets have the hardest schedule from here on out.
All right.
By far, they got the hardest schedule. And if the Mets are going to make it, they're going to need to start winning now because they're like their last week. They have the hardest games. So I think they got to play the Padres or the Diamondbacks for 3. I think they got the Braves for 6, I think. Something like that. It's going to get interesting. But I think D-backs, Padres, and I think the Braves are going to squeak in. They're a game out right now. And with the hard schedule the Mets have, I think it's just going to be too much to overcome.
Last season, the D-backs got hot. Your buddy's here. He says he's awake now, Anthony.
Dude, this Foster's got 9 lives, man. 9 lives with that team, and he still survives.
Yep. I love Foster.
That's hilarious.
Last year, the Diamondbacks got really hot, man. Made it to the playoffs. You like them this year? Make it sneak in?
I don't see how they don't make it. The question is, does their pitching hold up in the playoffs? That's going to be the question mark. So I firm believe, they're pretty safe. As long as they don't really go on like a huge 8 to 10 game losing streak, they're pretty much in it.
They really have to acquired some mid-season pitching, if I remember. But I can't remember.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. But what's been really helping them is their hitting. Their hitting came alive. Their pitching has been keeping them in the game. I'm not saying their pitching has been phenomenal or anything, but they're doing better than what they were in the beginning of the season. Beginning of the season, their pitching was a train wreck. Their hitting was non-existent. And their offense, at starting in the end of August, they really turned it on. So it's been a huge improvement for them, and good for them. It's just a matter of time. They got their guys back. Gallen's been hit or miss. Merrill's been hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's going to get interesting in the playoffs because once the playoffs come, it doesn't matter what you did in the regular season. It's what you do then.
And in the AL, how are we looking there?
So you got Baltimore and the Yankees fighting for a division spot. They're about a game apart. You got KC.
The Yankees pass up the Orioles now?
Huh?
The Yankees passed the Orioles first place in the East?
For the time being, yeah. They keep going back and forth.
Right.
You got the Royals, a game and a half up on in the second spot.
Cleveland? Oh, okay.
And you got the Twins. The Twins are the third spot. Okay. And you got the Tigers. The Tigers are 3.5 out of the wild card right now.
One of the hottest teams in baseball right now, right?
The Tigers have the easiest schedule from here on out. So don't be surprised if the Tigers can squeak in.
The Guardians are still on top in the Central?
Oh, yeah. They pretty much won it. They have to really screw up. I think they're like 4. I'll tell you right now. They're like what?
4 games up. But my mind is on football
4
now.
games up. 4.
I kind of haven't been betting baseball,
And Yankees are 2 games up on the Orioles. But we'll touch upon this next week. But I say just watch out for the Tigers. This next week, so right now they're 3.5 games out of the wild card behind the Twins, and by next Friday, if they're not with 2 games of the wild card.
All right. So who do you like in the AL to win that wild card?
I think the Tigers squeak out past the Twins. I think the Tigers, they are the hottest team right now.
That is amazing
in that wild card.
Who would have thought, man?
It comes down to who's hot, who's not. The Tigers of all teams, the Tigers.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
So they weren't even in our list for AL pennant.
Isn't that crazy?
You know, They were plus 12,500 to win the AL Central, which they're not going to do. But
yeah.
All right.
Once you get into it, you never know. Nothing. I mean, what was it last year? I had the D-backs and the Padres to win the the NL, and they beat the Braves and the Dodgers. And the Braves and the Dodgers were a hell of a lot better teams than they were this year.
Yeah.
And everyone thought I was crazy. I took the 2 bottom barrel teams. I was like, give me. Oh no, it was the Phillies. Was it the Phillies? It was the Phillies and the D-backs I had, and next thing you know, it's the Phillies and D-backs in the National League Championship, and I look like a genius.
I'm going to send out this tweet for us.
Yep. Yeah, we'll touch upon this again once Sean comes back next week.
Yeah.
Sean missing a podcast is very rare, as he does like a dozen a week.
All right.
Does about
profile here. Let's talk a little college football. Tomorrow, Alabama minus 16.5 at Wisconsin. I'm looking at some of the numbers. Look, EPA margin, Alabama's second in the country. Wisconsin's 114. You know, offensive success rate, Alabama's 35th, but Wisconsin's 8th for offensive success rate. They've been pretty. They haven't played the level of competition that Alabama has played, but defensive success rate, Alabama's number 1 in the country. Wisconsin's sitting at 55th. I mean, these numbers, when you compare them, EPA per rush, Alabama's 18th, Wisconsin 92. Field position, Wisconsin, is 47th in the country to Alabama's 6th. So the field position battle largely won by Arizona. 16.5 points on the road. I'm thinking a first half Alabama, and then maybe them slowing down in the second half, taking their foot off the gas.
I don't think so. I think Bama's going to be full throttle throughout the game. I think I think more it's going to be slow in the first half.
But remember, this is the way you and I have always thought, like Alabama starts slow. That was under Nick Saban, though. This is Caleb.
They were at one point a few years ago. They were the best first half team. I think they won 12-0 or 11-1 one year against the spread in the first half. And Bama first half was like an automatic play every week.
That's minus 16.5. I think the first half line is 7.5, which is
it's got to be more than that.
I know you think it'd be 9.5.
Yeah.
Let me take a look here.
It can't be that low. I'd be shocked.
Let me just pull up.
The quarterback for Wisconsin is the former quarterback for Miami, and that's just automatic. That's already red flags right there.
Van
Dyke's terrible. He's terrible.
First half, it's 8.5.
Okay, I was saying 9.5. That's right. I would go Bama first half. That's 2 scores.
Bama first half.
I would go Bama first half. I just don't see Wisconsin. I know it's in Wisconsin and everything. I think first quarter slows down, but as the game goes, I think Bama wears them down and starts scoring. Yeah. At the end of the game, I like the Bama here minus 16.5. I wouldn't take anything more than 16.5 because then if you get 17, you got to get that touchdown to make it a cash. But I'll take my chances on Bama minus 16.5 here. I'm not sold on Wisconsin whatsoever. Not sold on the quarterback of Wisconsin. Bama's playing really good, and you just got to ride with it. It's this early in the season. It's so hard to really judge teams, especially when you play an FCS team week 1 and you play a week FBS team in week 2. It's really hard to judge a team. But there's nothing that really stands out at the Wisconsin level that says that can keep up with Bama here.
Any thoughts on the total over under 50? I'm kind of leaning towards the under.
I would lean under. I would lean the under. I just don't see Wisconsin scoring much.
Both of these teams aren't, known for being fast for pace of play.
I can see a 31-10 type game, 34-10. I just don't see Wisconsin scoring much.
Yeah, it's funny. Their offense has been successful. Let's take a look here.
Who?
Wisconsin. It's not like they haven't had offensive success.
Well, I'm talking about this season. I'm not
Yeah.
looking at last season. I mean, who have they really played this year? Nobody.
Well, yeah.
They haven't played anybody.
Western Michigan, which is a decent defense, they won 28-14. And then South Dakota, they 27-13. So, I mean,
nothing.
They didn't exactly blow away those two teams.
They didn't blow them out.
Yeah.
And I still look at what did they give up? They gave up 14 points and 13 points in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
To me, that's an embarrassment. You're a Big Ten team, supposed to be battling for the Big Ten, and you're giving up that many points to a weak team? Come on.
Yeah.
That's an embarrassment.
Alabama opened with Western Kentucky, who's a good team, but offensively, and they were shut out 53-0.
Yeah.
So
63-0.
63-0. And then they played South Florida right in your backyard.
And they started off slow versus South Florida. Yeah. And then the second half, they just whooped them.
Pulled away. They won by 4 touchdowns in that one.
I mean, they whooped them by like Brock Lesnar style. I mean, they whooped it. They whooped them.
South Florida's supposed to be a pretty good team this year to win their conference. One of the favored.
You know how I feel about the YMCA boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, college basketball, I'm starting to take a step back on the college basketball.
Right.
Because of the transfer portal. But nobody wants to come to South Florida
steps,
to play football.
They've taken steps to increase both programs. That's the
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm not sold on the football team yet.
Right.
Not sold yet.
LSU, South Carolina, only 6 points separates this one. South Carolina beat Kentucky last week. That was a 31-6 win in Kentucky. So pretty impressive win. They opened with Old Dominion. Old Dominion was one of my plays to keep that game close, They only beat Old Dominion 23-19. But South Carolina has a good defense this year. LSU, remember, they opened at USC. That was a 20-27 loss. And then they beat up on Nicholls State. We can't really gather much information. A 44-21 win against Nicholls. LSU -6 at South Carolina. I'm tempted to take the 6 with South Carolina.
It's very tempting. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to lean South Carolina here.
Yep.
This looks way too easy. It just looks way too easy for me.
Unders in college football are hitting at a high rate this year.
Yeah.
So leaning under in this one for me. Under 48.5. Yep. Both teams good defenses. That would be my play.
This went down to 14.5. This was 16.5 this morning.
Boston College getting stuff done on defense too. Speaking of defense, Missouri going at it with that Stead Luther Burden, that wide receiver. Future NFL player. Boston College opened their season with a win at Florida State. 28-13. So then last week they beat Duquesne, Division II school, 58-0, 56-0. Sorry.
Can you believe this line went down 2 points from this morning? Yep. 2 points. That's insane.
Missouri hasn't beat anybody, have they?
No, but they got their full squad from last year. Though.
Yeah,
they brought everybody back though. That team is in it to win it this year. They're pretty much all in because they're going to lose basically the whole squad after this season.
Yeah.
This game, I gotta say, I gotta go with the over with Boston College.
Brady Cook, quarterback, is back, thrown to Luther Burden.
I like Boston College here. 2 touchdowns. I think Missouri wins the game, but it's just way too high of a spread for me.
2 touchdowns.
It keeps going down. It keeps going down.
Look, we have been emphasizing taking big dogs like this year.
Yeah.
Boston College getting it done on defense. The unders, 28-13 is for. So I throw out the Duquesne game. You can't learn much from that.
No.
Missouri only put up 38 on Buffalo last week, and Murray State was 51-0. Murray State not exactly known for football. Boston College plus the points. I don't have any thoughts on the total. I lean under like I do.
No, me neither.
All this stuff. The Apple Bowl, Oregon State. This is a big rivalry. And again, Oregon State's on the road here, I think, right?
Oregon's on the road.
So Oregon State at home, I'm taking the points, 16.5.
Yeah, This is a no-brainer. I know I've been picking all the dogs so far, but to me, this is actually, except for Alabama. But this one's the one of my favorite dogs for tomorrow. Oregon State, Oregon. Oregon is not that high-powered offense at all.
Yep.
So when you think of Oregon, you got that high-powered offense with Bo Nix in it. Oh, we got Dan Gabriel's in the
Dylan Gabriel. Yep.
He hasn't, or Dylan Gabriel. I don't know why I'm saying Daniel.
4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
He hasn't done squat,
quarterback rating of 178.
He hasn't done squat. He has not done squat.
His quarterback rating is pretty high, but let's go.
When I say hasn't done squat, he has not been that Oregon perception.
Yeah.
When you think of Oregon, you think of big blowouts.
Yeah,
big blowouts when you think of Oregon.
They barely got by Idaho.
Correct. Idaho is better than we think.
Yep.
I watched that game. Let me tell you, Idaho is a much better team than we all think.
Yep. Boise State also tough again, 37-34.
Yeah.
But that was a good game.
But those are games you played last year. Oregon blows them out.
Yeah.
This is not that same. These lines are all public perception. In our minds, we're saying, "Oh, Oregon's going to blow them out."
It's a big rivalry, man.
You get 3 scores. Come on, this is Oregon State written all over it.
Yep. Oregon State 2-0 also. They beat Idaho State 38-15. They went into San Diego State, not a bad team. Won 21-0.
They still got a solid defense. Don't count out Oregon State.
Right,
and they don't have that piece of crap quarterback.
Jay Ugalele.
Yeah. Even better.
Right. Their quarterback is Giovanni McCoy.
Yep.
Actually, there are 2 guys. The other guy is Gabari Johnson. They've kind of been alternating. McCoy more of the passer and Johnson more of the runner.
Yep.
This is one of the better games of the weekend. I think. I think it'll be closer than you think.
I agree.
Oregon has played 2 fairly close games. Yeah. So
Oregon State. Don't be surprised if Oregon State wins this outright.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where I think the line is way wrong. The line is still the perception from last year. This Oregon team is not that good. They're good for who they play against. Right. But when they start playing the good teams, they're going to be they're going to be showing their weakness. And let me tell you, Oregon State could win this outright.
Yeah, give us Oregon State plus the points.
All day.
Head over to Indiana, in-state rivalry, Notre Dame at Purdue. Notre Dame is 7.5-point favorite. They got to be angry after losing at home to Northern Illinois. They paid Northern Illinois $1.4 million to come in and play at South Bend, and Northern Illinois gets the win, the upset special. Notre Dame had a great defense in their first game and looked like one of the top defenses in college football. And then, they held North Carolina to Northern Illinois to 16 points. But, the
entire team played bad.
The offense hasn't been great, yeah.
They played
bad. They went into Texas A&M to open the season. And
quality
win, came home and
that's a hostile environment too.
Yep, 23-13.
Notre Dame was a 4-touchdown favorite last week. I was on Notre Dame minus 28. I was pretty confident. Me and you were like, "Oh, Notre Dame should roll.
Yep.
But turnovers, bad play, and when you have a bad game, you rely on other players. But it seems like the entire team just had a bad game.
The thing about the Huskies is a lot of the Chicagoland area kids who are good players in high school don't get the big school rides. They settle. They go out to DeKalb. It's close to home. Go out to DeKalb, and when the big school teams, they get to play the big school teams, they're up for it. They're like, look what you passed up.
Absolutely.
So Notre Dame, Purdue. Let's take a look at Purdue for a second. They started the season with a 35-30
I love the under in this
Indiana.
game. I got no opinion on the side. I love the under in this game.
You know what? They've only played 1 game this season, Purdue.
Yeah.
They were off last week. So they beat Indiana State 49-0. So we don't really know.
No, we don't know
what Purdue is, man. Give me Indiana State angry after that loss. minus 7.5. Anthony
Notre
likes
Dame.
the under. Notre Dame. Is that what I say?
You said Indiana State.
Yeah. Purdue beat Indiana State. Give me Notre Dame minus 7.5.
I love the under.
Yeah, angry off of the loss.
As well as they should.
Yeah, Riley Leonard, good quarterback.
Yeah, he is. He just had
a bad game.
Yep. He had a really bad game, plain and simple, and nobody helped him.
This is the Apple Bowl. I'm sorry, Washington State. Washington State. Washington State. They don't have Cam Ward anymore.
Nope, right? He's on Miami.
He's on Miami. Yep. And Washington no longer has their coach, Kalen DeBoer, or Michael Penix.
Or Roma Dunze.
Yeah, it's a different Washington squad.
Yep.
Washington, like I said, I had Eastern Michigan plus 25 last week. They lost to Washington. I expect them to win, but I expect Eastern Michigan's defense to hang in there, and they only lost by 21. So we got the win and the cover. We got the cover, but not the win. Washington opened at Weber State, which was opened at home versus Weber State with 35-3 win. And of course, last week they're home against Eastern Michigan. They're home again against their in-state rivals, the Cougars, who opened the season at home versus Portland State, a 70-30 winner for Washington State. Then they hosted Texas Tech. That was a 37-16 winner. Head-to-head in the Apple Bowl. Look, Washington has dominated the series the last 10, but they haven't covered the spread. 9-1 straight up, 3-7 against the spread the last 10. So I mean, this is a 5.5 point game, right? 5.5.
Last year's game was really good, really fun to watch.
Really good game. Yep, Washington was 24-21 game.
Yeah,
that was Thanksgiving time Thanksgiving last year. I'm
taking Washington here.
Yeah, Washington minus 5.5.
Washington State just lost way too many players, and losing your quarterback. I know Washington has got some new players, but Washington reloaded.
Yep.
Washington State did not reload as much as Washington did. I like Washington here to win by a touchdown.
Yep. All right, I got no play on this game. 54.5 is a lot of points. Give me the under if I had to. You held a gun to my head.
Sean likes the under as well.
Yep. And we're going to go to Norman, Oklahoma, where the Green Wave coming in Tulane at Oklahoma, man. This is an interesting game, really. Tulane, they just played
Kansas State.
Kansas State
One of my two best bets last week was Tulane, Kansas State over 47 and cashed easily.
Yep, 61 points in that game. And they covered plus 9.5 versus Kansas State. Kansas State's supposed to be one of the best teams. I don't know, they just haven't looked good
Tulane,
so far. Tulane has the defense.
Tulane controlled the game last week in the first half.
Yeah.
And then in the second half, they just melted, and Kansas State just took control and ended up tying the game. But Tulane, they fought tough.
Yep. But
in Oklahoma, I got to go with Oklahoma here. I think Oklahoma is just too much for Tulane. Watching Tulane, they love to run the ball. They're more of a run-first offense. I just think it's just too much for Oklahoma. Oklahoma should they just got way too many superior players. Talk about reloading in the offseason. I watched this Oklahoma game on week 1 or week 0, week 1. And, I mean, they got like 3-4 deep of solid players. So, watch out for this Oklahoma team. I'm going to roll Oklahoma here with the points.
I don't know. I have no play on this game. Look, Oklahoma's normally a running team. This year they're more of a passing team, which is weird for me. Tulane, I think, could hang in here. 12 points is 12 points. You know, if I had to make a guess, I'm going to lean under just because Tulane runs clock. They chew clock.
They do.
But no play for me. Let's head over to Coach Prime, right? Colorado State. And I'm not impressed. Coach, like I said, Coach Prime's got like 2 guys. And those 2 guys are NFL players. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yep.
They're going to be in the NFL, and they're going to do well. Colorado State it was head-to-head last year was a really good game, if I remember. Let me pull it up, Anthony. This is a later game.
This is my favorite game of the weekend, of Saturday. I mean, this is actually my best bet for the whole entire tomorrow.
Right. Now, my best bet was Nebraska -6.5 last week. That was against.
Well,
Coach,
I mean, come on,
28-10
yeah.
win. Look, Colorado had a tough time with North Dakota State. North Dakota State is a proud team, man. They like all those teams that we've watched. When what was Iowa State played North Dakota? That was a tough win for them too, man. North Dakota State, tough win for Coach Prime. He won 31-26 to open the season. Then he went in Nebraska and got rearranged by the Cornhuskers. This year you saw Colorado State go into Texas and lose 52-0. They after that they followed up with a 38-17 win at home versus Northern Colorado. Doesn't tell us much. I don't know if I don't really know what Colorado State is, but I think the rivalry is going to keep it closer than 7.5 points, yeah. Anthony.
Absolutely.
I'm going to lean
Colorado
over.
State's not a good team, but neither is Colorado. Yeah. This is going to be another shootout. You're going to look. I mean, I'm predicting a replay of last year, and if it's a replay of last year, we're in for a lot of entertainment tomorrow.
Yeah, it was an overtime game, 43-35 Buffalo win.
Great game.
Over-under was 63.5. There was 78 points scored.
Colorado had that game won, and Colorado State came and tied it up.
I'm going to lean over in this one, 58.5 points. That's my play.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll take Colorado State plus the points if I had to.
Neither team plays defense.
Yep. This, to me, has over written all over it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what do you say we head to the NFL?
All right.
Where we got the Jets at the Titans. Look, the Jets last week, it was a tough ask to go into San Francisco, play the 49ers on Monday Night Football with the guy who did not play football last year because he was injured in the very first series of last.
But that wasn't the problem. He played well. He played okay for what he had to do. It was the defense.
It was a tough. Yeah. The defense was supposed to be good. Was picked apart by Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy.
Oh my gosh!
And their offense, they didn't need Christian McCaffrey. The other guys did a lot though. I mean, you had Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle all made plays like you expect them to make.
That wasn't the Jets defense that we were familiar with last year.
The key was the 49ers ran the ball with Jordan Mason all over the Jets defense.
Yeah, they couldn't stop the run.
Couldn't stop them. Now, they're going to the Titans, who really should have won the game against the Bears. Yep. They gave it away.
Absolutely. Literally
gave
it to them. Literally gave it to them.
Chicago, the Bears, we'll talk about the Bears and Texans later.
Unfortunately.
The plus turnover differential for the Bears picked up right where it left off last year. The last 5 games of the season, the Bears are one of the top defenses, both stopping the run last year. They were number 1 to stop the run, and the Bears were plus top 5 in turnover differential. So now we've got the Jets. The Jets bounce back at the Titans. And look, the Titans have that great defensive line, which we talked about last week. The Bears could not run inside.
Nope.
And then the 2 good cornerbacks of the Titans locked down DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. So, I mean, the Bears had to win. They scored no offensive touchdowns. How did the Jets offense get things going against the Titans? This is an underrated Titans defense. I got
to say, looking at the Titans, nobody's even talking about how good of coverage the Titans did versus the Bears.
Yep.
I mean, you got some phenomenal receivers on Chicago.
Yep.
Of Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. I mean, they were shut down, and nobody's giving them any credit. They were just like, all they could talk about is how bad Caleb Williams did. Yep. And I'm not denying he did bad or anything, but give this Titans defense phenomenal credit. Nobody's giving them credit.
Yeah.
The way the Jets are right now, they are not a good team. They are not the Jets that you think that are just going to roll in here and just dominate. I like the Titans to win out right here, guys. The Titans should be 1-0.
Yeah,
I think
you like the Titans out right here, huh?
I actually locked in the Titans a few days ago at +4. I got them at +4. I still like them at +3.5.
Yeah, I thought the Titans would beat the Bears too, Foster.
Yeah,
I thought they'd cover too, but I was on the play I gave out was the under, and that cashed.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Will Levis, I mean, this is a stupid decision. The Titans would have been 1-1. It's a whole other situation.
Yep, they would have been 1-0.
The Titans,
or at least they would have covered last week.
This is all public perception. This is another game where the public perception. If you see the Titans favored, everyone's going to be jumping on the Titans. Yeah. Why are the Jets favored? What stands out that says the Jets should be favored here?
Yep,
because of Will Levis' decision making? I'm sorry, he's not going to make those bonehead moves again this week.
Give me the Titans plus 3.5. I'm on the under in this game. Give me the under. This game has 16-13 written all over it.
No, this has one of those games where
23.
This is one of those games where if you're an amateur bettor, you look at the Jets are favored on the road versus the Titans. Yep. That's it. 3.5. Oh, you got Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson with that great defense. Oh, no, they're gonna win. There's no way they're gonna go 1-2.
Yep.
So,
well, if you like the Titans plus 3.5, you got to like the under for it to stay under. With 3.5.
Yeah. Wouldn't doubt. I mean, I'm not really big on the under, but yeah.
Heading back, heading over to Detroit, we got the Lions minus 7.5 versus the Buccaneers. The hook is daunting. They want you to pick the Buccaneers plus that hook, keep it within a touchdown. Over under 51.5. Oh, well, guess what? He decided to join us in the middle of football.
I told you this guy does. He cannot miss a podcast. This guy cannot miss a podcast.
Oh, I got my outer speaker on. I might have an echo. Tell me what it sounds like because I got the other speaker.
All right.
You sound good. Sound good.
I have the regular. Yeah, we haven't even gone yet for these stupid ass photos.
Let's go back one game and see what Sean says about the Jets.
What's it? What am I going to say here? Did you already cover the Niners Vikings? I'm going to fade both of these cats off Monday Night Football.
Yep.
Right? Because it's what you see. One team plays terrible. One plays good. This line dropped the whole point. Really? I mean, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't take my licks at the beginning here with the Bears somehow pulling out a ridiculous
we haven't
gotten there yet.
Gotten to the game yet.
All right.
Yeah, we saved the best for last for you.
Best for last.
Good.
So we could talk about that shitty ass New York pizza from Jersey.
I hit that today on.
I know. That's why I'm saying it.
What about? Do you dip your pizza in ranch, Sean?
That is utterly disgusting.
Isn't it disgusting?
He puts dry rub seasoning on his pizza.
I gotta like public executions for stuff.
I'm gonna make that a little GIF so it's on here when it's like soak, for a bad loss for NFL team choking. Jets minus 3.5 or Titans plus 3.5.
Titans, come on.
Titans, right? Over under 41.
I have no opinion. Probably under.
Yeah, it's probably under as well. Buccaneers, Lions.
This is at the 7.5 now.
7.5. Yeah.
It keeps going up.
Look, Baker Mayfield.
Now it's time to go.
Baker Mayfield was one of the top quarterbacks last week.
Over. Take the over here, fellas.
All right,
listen.
1.5.
Texans in a rout. Texans first half, full game, 3 quarters of the game, first quarter. I got to run.
You got to go.
He came here just to troll the Bears fans. That's classic Sean.
All right. Classic. Buccaneers minus 7.5. Plus 7.5 or Lions minus 7.5. Anthony.
I got to go with the Buccaneers now. It's at the point where I got to lean the Bucs. The Bucs are not that bad of a team. They just got better from last year. And they were going toe-to-toe with the Lions in the postseason. Give me the Buccaneers. Everybody under the sun's going to be on the Lions here.
Yeah. Yep.
I like the Bucs.
I think the Lions win. I think the Bucs cover.
Yeah, that's exact. I don't see the. I'd be surprised. I'd really be surprised if the Buccaneers win, but I think it's a close. I think it's a closer game than we expect.
These games, man, when you get to like 50, 51, 54 around there. I start leaning unders. But,
me too. I have no opinion.
Over, but
I want to lean the under, just like I did with the Lions and Rams, but I can see them trading touchdowns. So, I mean, I'd rather just not touch it. Since beginning of last year, anything over 50 is really, really hard to take an over on. It's just whatever. I don't know what rules they changed specifically, but it seems like anytime you see a total over in the 50s, Those games have been going under.
Yep,
so
going under. Yep, exactly.
I'm gonna just lean the Bucks here.
49ers -5 on the road at the Vikings, over under 46.5. Low total expected. The 49ers are one of the slowest teams in the NFL, so I can see why the total is low. Sam Darnold going against his team from last year, right? He was on the 49ers backing up Brock Purdy, right?
So I know Sean said the Vikings +5 here, but at the end of the day, it's still the Niners. They're fully loaded. And it's still Sam Darnold. He looked good versus the Giants last year. Last week, the Giants.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you got the Niners defense for Sam Darnold. I'm going to take the Niners here. I mean, I say Darnold with 2 picks, 1 pick 6.
Yep.
It's just the Vikings lose this game based on turnovers. That's how they lose this game.
Yep. Good call, Anthony. I like it. My gut says take the over here because I think both teams have some good skill position players. But I could see the Vikings laying a big egg at home. Not being able to score. But you got Nick Bosa rushing the passer and Sam Darnold.
I disagree with the over. I got to say under here because the Vikings are going to try to slow the pace down. They don't want to turn this into a shootout.
Right, exactly.
And if
the 49ers are so, I think the Vikings will slow it down too.
So, I have to say under. Both teams love to run the ball. We're going to see a lot of Jordan Mason.
Yep.
A lot of who's the running back for the Vikings? Aaron Jones.
Yep.
I don't see Sam Darnold doing too much because if he has to throw the ball to win the game or on a drive, he's going to screw up. Not versus defense. Not versus them.
Yep. All right. You heard it here. Good calls here. Saints +6 at the Cowboys -6. So, like we said, public perception. The Saints blew out the Panthers, but the Panthers I don't think are that good. Just like you said, the Vikings beat the Giants. The Cowboys, meanwhile, went into Cleveland and took care of business. But the Cleveland Browns did not look good.
Win.
That was a quality win, but the quarterbacking was terrible for the Browns.
Yeah. Yep.
So why is the number 6? I think the number tells you a lot here, Anthony. What do you think? 6? I would lean Cowboys here.
It's one of those things you just can't overthink.
Yep.
You cannot base the Saints game on that Panthers game because if you watch that game, the Panthers, it's like they gave up. They didn't even try in a lot of those plays. Once they were down 2-3 scores, there was no hustle.
What was the final score? Like 47-10 or something?
No.
37-10?
Like 6. I don't think Panthers got a touchdown, did they?
Let me see. I can't remember.
I don't think they got a touchdown.
47-10. I was right. Yeah,
okay, it was okay. I don't remember them getting a touchdown.
Saints. They were playing the freaking Panthers, though.
And they just kept running the ball in the second half.
Yeah, and they didn't have to do much.
And they still just scored and threw a ball. It got to the point where the Panthers players just didn't care. They're like, we lost. Just give it up. Let's just end this game. And the Saints just kept pouring it on instead of slowing the pace down, running the ball. Panthers had already waved the white flag.
Yep, Cowboys were playing with the lead as well in Cleveland.
And the Cowboys, I'm sorry, it's the Cowboys. The Cowboys are still stacked. People can say whatever they want about the Cowboys, but in a betting aspect, you can say whatever you want. I got my money on the Cowboys.
I think Cowboys. I have no opinion on the total. I lean over here.
I have no opinion. Yeah.
No opinion because I think both of these teams can win.
Cowboys' defense is still really disgustingly good.
Yep. 46.5. I could, if I were to predict the score, man, 28-18 is a fair, 28-20.
You think the Cowboys are only going to get 4 touchdowns? That's it? No field goals?
I don't know. I'm just this is an implied score. This is an implied score. Of
Cowboys will be in the 30s in this game. They'll be in the 30s.
26. 20.
I say 31 or 34 points for the Cowboys. I think that's a lot of points here.
Yeah, it's like 26-20 implied score. Let's move on to Bengals at Chief, where the Bengals lost their opener in New England, right? Was home? They were at home, weren't they? Or no, they were at home. They were at home. They lost their home opener to the Patriots, who
3 turnovers.
I thought wouldn't be that good this year.
Bengals are going to be horrible this year. Everyone's talking about how good the Bengals are going to be. Oh, give me my Super Bowl tickets. They lost Joe Mixon. Yep. Joe Mixon's the heart and soul of this team. It's not Joe Burrow. It's Joe Mixon.
Yep.
Look at what Joe Mixon's doing in Houston. He is going to have a record-breaking year in Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Joe Mixon, in my opinion, had to be the biggest between Saquon Barkley. I mean, he had to probably be one of the top two running backs in the league in the free agency. You got Saquon and Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon could do it all. Bengals, they're going to feel their loss of Joe Mixon this season.
Yeah,
people
it's
are
a
going to be
different
like,
Bengals team. I'm with you.
Completely different.
Completely different.
And their defense sucks.
Their defense is bad. Now they're playing the ultra efficient Chiefs offense. You know?
Yeah, they just got good. The Chiefs just got loaded. If they were going to beat the Chiefs, they was going to beat them last year because the Chiefs were not a good team last year.
Yeah.
They escaped by like everybody. They escaped until the playoffs came and they just turned superhuman. But in the regular season, the Chiefs just escaped every game. This year, Chiefs are going to steamroll through everybody. I think this is a blowout. Burrow is 3-1 versus the Chiefs in his career. It's about to be 3-2.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're due for some negative regression.
And there's no T. Higgins. No T. Higgins and no Joe Mixon with a shitty defense.
Yep. I'm with
you. So what is it going to be? A Jamar Chase show? Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it.
Bears down in Houston getting 6.5. The defense, I think, could keep them in this game.
That's why I like the under.
I like the under too. I think the under is a good player.
I liked it at 43.5 a few days ago. Monday was at 43.5. It's up to 45.5.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep waiting for it to go higher and higher, and then I want to take the under.
Yeah, and the Bears are banged up at wide receiver. This is why I like the Texans -6.
Bears are banged up. Caleb Williams can't throw a fucking ball. The offensive line doesn't know who to guard. And then you got the ultra-powered,
very efficient, used almost all of his receivers. Joe Mixon,
and you got Joe Mixon just pounding the ball.
Times.
The Bears' defense is going to struggle today because they're going to be on the field the whole game.
Yeah, they're going to be. That's what I think. I think the Texans wear them down and take off.
I think this is a blowout. The
Bears have been good in the second half of games, bad in the first half, though. We'll see if that trend continues.
Well, let's go back to last week. The Bears were down 17-0 to the Tennessee Titans at one point,
and they
at home.
And they held them to
besides them coming back, which had to do nothing.
Never scored another point.
It had nothing to do with the offense. The offense scored 3 points. Right. The offense scored 3 points. Yep. That's it.
Yep.
So if they're going to get blown out at home by Tennessee, what do you think the Texans are going to do when the Bears on the road?
Yeah.
This is a blowout. Yeah. Bears fans will be crying on Monday morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game the Bears are not expected to win. Do they keep it close enough?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
This line should be 10.
For me, no play on this one.
No play because we made a pact. We don't bet against the Bears this year. Because if me and Tooch if we touch the Texans, the Bears will win this game.
The offense did not look good, and I don't see him putting any points on the Texans.
You know how the only way the Bears will win this game is if me and you bet it. That's the only way. That's the only way the Bears win this Sunday is if me and Tooch bet the Texans.
Well, for fun, we've been doing the survivor picks. Last week, all three of us took the Buccaneers, so we advance. This week, Sean likes the Chargers. Anthony's taking the Ravens.
Yep.
And me, I'm going to use my Commander's bullet.
Tooch is taking a long shot here.
Versus the Giants. At home versus the Giants.
It's the Giants.
Right? Yep. The Commanders are at home, though, I think, right?
Yes, they're at home.
So, I mean, I don't think the Giants are very good, Anthony.
They're not very good, but neither are the Commanders' defense. I think the Commanders' defense is one of the worst in the league.
Yeah.
But
the Giants lost their best defender out for the season.
Yeah.
Derek Moore.
Commanders should win this in Washington. I mean, Daniel Jones. I mean, come on, it's Daniel Jones.
Yep.
I'll take Jaden Daniels any day of the week.
He can put this game on his shoulders and maybe bring it through for a victory.
And I don't care what any Bears fan says. I'd rather have Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Anytime. Oh, yeah.
There we go. We got Willis Towers coming up after us. What do you say we get to free plays now? Yeah. All right, here we go.
Sure.
All right. We'll start with Anthony's right here. Ravens minus 8.5 versus the Raiders.
I think this is a
Sunday.
blowout. This is a blowout.
They're at home.
Don't overthink it. Yeah, they're at home.
Raiders are not good.
They were a toe away from beating the Chiefs.
Yeah.
One toe.
Yep, one toe away from beating the Chiefs at Arrowhead.
So don't overthink it.
The Ravens probably should win that division, you know.
Yes.
AFC East, man, I think it's looking like the Bills, man. The Dolphins are in trouble now. The Patriots are 1-0, but they're not winning the division.
I mean, the Patriots are rebuilding. They're not in win mode yet.
Yep. And then
they're spoiler mode every week. They're just in spoiler mode.
The Jets are a bit of a dark horse.
The Jets are a huge mess.
Yeah.
New Yorkers, New Jersey, they can say whatever they want, but that team is a mess right now.
The Tua injury opened it for Buffalo, and I'll tell you, Buffalo has Josh Allen.
It's theirs to lose. It's theirs to lose now. It's officially theirs to lose.
Yep.
With Tua's injury, Miami's done already. Week 2, they're done. Who are they going to get? Ryan Tannehill?
That's what I was thinking. Give him a call. We're giving Ryan Tannehill a call.
That's not the answer, though. You know what I mean?
I know. Yep.
Buffalo, it's their division to win now. Plain and simple.
Sean's free play is going to take the Golden Hurricane plus 18.5 versus Oklahoma State. Now, Tulsa at home in this one?
Yes, Tulsa's at home.
I honestly don't know, but
yeah, Tulsa's at home.
Are they? Okay, at home. Nice. I like that play. I was liking that one also. Banged up Jacksonville State heading to Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan a short favorite with a really good, tough, physical defense. Jacksonville State lost everybody, and now they're injured. Man, I like Nevada -1 at home. They end up losing at home to Georgia Southern. I'm going back to the well with a short favorite here. I'm hoping that Coach Chris Creighton and the Eastern Michigan the Eagles, right? The Eastern Michigan Eagles can beat the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State. So Eastern Michigan -1.5. That's it, Anthony. Any final words before we go? We got sign up for VIP service. Anthony,
sign up. PoundofSports.com. You can find all of our services there, and we're winning, man. Especially baseball. Baseball has been my cash cow.
Baseball has.
Thank God for baseball.
Yep.
Football, I'm not complaining.
Yep. All right, Anthony. We'll talk to you later. Let you get out of here. All right, and for Aldo Gandia and Barroom Network, we will see you next Friday. Back with Sean Higgs. Someone's leaving us a thanks, guys. Will I live another week? Yeah, good question, Foster. I think so.
It's either you or Tooch.
Yep. Yeah. I was picked before this week again to be chopped. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think my team has an okay week this week, though.
We'll see what happens. You should be fine.
All right, buddy. Take care.
All right. We're going.
Bye-bye.